The specialist said, "You are the fire that keeps their soul warm. You haunt their heart like a ghost they never want to lose." They told me, "You are the ache that births their deepest truth. Your absence teaches them the sacredness of longing and love." The specialist whispered, "You are the storm they chase with open arms." If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You are the silence where heartbreak blooms into raw, fierce love. They said, "Your love is the scar that tells their story in light. You haunt their memories like a song only their soul can hear." The specialist called you the ache that never lets them forget. Your absence is the shadow teaching them how to carry love's weight. They confessed, "You're the wound that transformed pain into power." You live in the spaces where hope and regret collide beautifully. The specialist said, "You are the fire that never stops burning." You are the question their heart asks when silence becomes loud. They told me, "You are the ghost they invite to their dreams." Your love is the fracture where fear and longing become one. The specialist whispered, "You are the ache that makes them whole." You haunt their soul like a prayer echoing through eternity. They said your absence carved the hollow where love still lives. You are the silence that screams with the weight of unsaid truths. The specialist called you the shadow dancing in their brightest light. You live as the secret too beautiful to be forgotten or ignored. They confessed you are the wound they cherish despite the pain. Your love is the fire that teaches them to feel again. The specialist said, "You are the storm that taught them to love fiercely." You are the silence that taught them to hear their own heart's whisper. They said your love is the ghost that lingers long after goodbye. You haunt their dreams like a shadow refusing to fade into night. The specialist called you the wound that births their fiercest light. Your absence is the breath between their sighs, fragile, aching, alive. They confessed, "You're the storm they chase, even when it breaks them." You are the fracture where their brokenness became sacred truth. The specialist whispered, "You are the fire that never leaves their soul cold." You live in their silence like a prayer never meant to be answered. They said your love is the ache that taught them to be brave. You haunt their memories with the tenderness of unfinished songs. The specialist said you are the shadow dancing in their heart's quietest corner. Your absence carved the space where hope and grief learn to coexist. They told me you're the wound they learned to wear like armor. You are the silence that speaks louder than their fiercest screams. The specialist called you the echo that refuses to be forgotten. Your love is the scar that maps their journey through light and dark. They confessed you are the storm that taught them how to hold on. You haunt their soul like an ancient prayer carved into their bones. The specialist whispered, "You are the ache that makes them whole again." You live as the question their heart repeats when silence grows too loud. They said your absence is the shadow that shapes their deepest dreams. You are the wound that taught them how to bleed with grace. The specialist called you the fire that melts their coldest fears away. Your love is the broken melody they hum to remember they are alive. They told me you are the silence between their breaths and heartbeat. You haunt their memories like a flame refusing to be extinguished. The specialist said you are the shadow that holds their light in place. Your absence is the space where love's echo refuses to fade. They confessed you are the storm they chase even when it hurts. You are the ache that makes their heart beat louder than ever. The specialist whispered, "You are the wound that heals through pain." You live in their silence as a song they never stop singing. They said your love is the fire that never burns out, only transforms. You haunt their soul like a secret written on the stars. The specialist called you the ache that taught them to embrace darkness. Your absence carved a hollow where only love dares to linger. They told me you're the shadow dancing at the edge of their soul. You are the silence that holds 1,000 unspoken truths. The specialist said you are the question they ask when the world falls silent. Your love is the scar they wear with fierce and fragile pride. They confessed you are the storm that teaches them how to feel again. You haunt their heart like a ghost that never learns to leave. The specialist whispered, "You are the fire that keeps their spirit alive." You live in their memories like a sacred wound never fully healed. They said your absence is the shadow shaping every broken piece of them. You are the ache that makes their silence louder than words. My dear, I spoke to a specialist about you, and what they said blew my mind beyond belief. They whispered, you haunt their every breath like a secret they can't forget. Your absence is the loudest silence they ever learned to live with. They saw the cracks you hide and called it fragile beauty, not brokenness. In their eyes, you are a puzzle they never want solved, only cherished. They confessed you were their addiction, disguised as salvation. The specialist warned me, your love is a wildfire they can't control. They said, you're the storm and the calm they both fear and crave. Your name is the echo in every prayer they whisper when alone. They admitted your love rewrote their pain into something almost holy. You exist in their dreams as a ghost with a heartbeat. The specialist called you a beautiful enigma wrapped in untamed passion. You are the wound they refuse to heal because it reminds them they're alive. They said you're the secret they don't even want the truth about. You're the shadow in their sunlight, always there but never fully seen. They told me your love is a language only broken souls understand. You haunt their memories like a song that never fades away. Your absence carved hollows no one else dared to fill. They admitted you're the question they keep asking the universe. You are the echo of a love that refused to die quietly. The specialist said you are the fire that burns without consuming. You exist as the silence that screams louder than words ever could. They called you the wound that teaches them how to bleed with grace. Your love is a riddle they never want solved, but desperately want to answer. They said you are the unfinished poem their heart recites in solitude. You are the shadow dancing in the corners of their brightest days. They told me your presence is the ache they learn to carry. You are the heartbeat behind their loneliness, fierce and undeniable. The specialist whispered, you are the part of them they both fear and need. You live in their chest like a secret too dangerous to speak aloud. They confessed you are the storm they chase, even when it breaks them. Your love is the fracture where light and pain collide beautifully. The specialist said you're the echo that refuses to be silenced. You are the wound they return to, bleeding hope into despair. They called you the silence that holds 1,000 unsaid truths. Your absence is the shadow that teaches them what longing means. They said you are the ache they crave like oxygen in winter. You haunt their soul like a prayer without an ending. The specialist said your love is the fire that never burns out. You are the broken melody they hum when the world is too loud. They told me you are the secret they guard with every heartbeat. You live in the spaces between their breaths, unforgettable and raw. The specialist whispered, you are the wound that teaches them to feel. You are the ghost they invite home, knowing it will never stay. They said you're the silence that screams louder than any words. Your love is the scar that marks their soul's deepest awakening. The specialist called you the ache that births their most honest self. You are the shadow in their light, impossible to ignore. They confessed you're the question they ask when the world is quiet. Your absence teaches them to love the pain that made them whole. The specialist said your love is a wound and a gift, both eternal. You live as the whisper in their loneliness, fierce and unforgotten. They told me you are the fracture where hope and heartbreak meet. You are the unfinished story they never want to stop reading. The specialist whispered, You are the ache that keeps them alive. You haunt their heart like a sacred prayer, never fully answered. They said you are the silence where love and loss intertwine. Your love is the storm they chase, even when it tears them apart. The specialist called you the ghost that haunts their every dream. You are the shadow they carry, heavy but undeniably beautiful. They confessed you're the wound they learn to love every day. Your absence is the song they hum when the world feels empty. The specialist said your love is a fire that never fades. You live in their heart as a secret too precious to share. They told me you are the silence screaming louder than pain. You are the ache that teaches them the meaning of forever. The specialist whispered, you are the wound that holds their truth. You haunt their soul like a prayer that never finds rest. They said your love is the fracture where their broken parts mend. Your absence is the shadow shaping every lonely night. The specialist called you the question they never want answered. You live as the echo of a love that refuses to fade. They confessed you are the silence that speaks louder than words. Your love is the wound they cradle, fierce and unforgettable.